Welcome back to the workshop and welcome back to yet another KPD project video. In this one we're going to be making a picture frame with inset dovetails, so let's just get stuck in. Maths is definitely not my strong point. So after cutting the piece and laying it out, I think I'm going to take off some of the width. It's a little bit too chunky for what I want. Long ones. I'm just going to mark each end of the left and right side. I'm not sure if you can see. I've roughly marked out where I want the dovetail to be. So I'm going to put a marker along there, not too deep, just enough for me to see, and then obviously that will get sanded out anyway. Okay, so the next step is to mark the depth. I'm going to be cutting half of this off, so then the dovetail insets into the frame. So I've set it to half of the width of these boards, and then I'm just going to do the same and mark the depth on each piece. Okay, so I've set up one of the frames behind, and I've set my saw to stop at a certain depth on that line, and then all I'll do is I'll just hog out the bulk of the material and then come back and clean it up with a chisel. We've got nice clean lines now, so I'll do the other piece and we'll start cutting the tails. I got all 4 tails cut now and they're all labelled, so I know which way they go, so each individual one will go into its place because they're hand cut. And all I'm going to do now is line it up with my marker, hold it down nice and tight, and then take my marking knife and scribe a line where the tails are. And then we'll take out the waste with the router, just the bulk, and then we'll clean it up with a chisel. So I've got them routed out now. I've started chiseling away at this one. So once we've finished both of these, we can then move on to doing this piece. The reason why I didn't route out all of them at the same time is because I'm going to slot these in first. Then once they're nice and lined up, I can line the other piece up nice and square. Okay, so I've got the 2 dovetails cut and in place. They're not perfect, there is a tiny gap there and a little bit up there, but what are you going to do? That's good enough for me. We'll move on now to doing these 2. I've got it clamped down so I can get my marking knife again on these 2. I'll repeat the process just like I did with the other 2. And then we can start working on the panelling. We'll do a route out at the back. So let's quickly chop out these and move on to the next step. I've been in your waters. The frame is now all glued up. The next step is to route out a groove for the panel. I'm just going to do that with my palm router. That'll give me room for the plexiglass and obviously the artwork and the back paneling. Let's quickly route out that. Okay, so I've got the groove routed out now. I've got this backer board and then obviously I'll slot in here. So we'll cut this panel first, then the plexiglass, then the plexiglass, and I'm gonna just round over the edges to fit it in here. I could chisel that square, but I think I just might sand it round. Okay, so I've sanded everything down now, and I've marked on each side where I'm gonna use the router to notch out a little area for these swivel pieces that holds the backing on. My mother spent hours making a piece for my sister's birthday. She put little beads, I'll show you but it'll make sense. She put little beads all together, making a collage of his face. It's really good, so yeah, I'll show you that at the end. So as I was saying, guys, my mother did all of this. Every single one of those tiny little beads were put together to make Lexi's beautiful face. And as you can see, the letters down there, every single bead had a code to get the picture right. I think it looks awesome. It can go down to my sister's house and probably take pride of place, no doubt. So I'll leave you now with the final shots. As always, thank you very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.